Are you tired of getting your thigh chopped down time and time again by your sparring partners at the gym? Today I'm going to share with you my strategy which helps keep this leg really safe and allows you to block or evade 90% of kicks thrown at your thigh. There are few things in combat sports more devastating than getting that leg mauled. Like, you can be at the gym, spar, get clipped, be like, oh man, I messed up. That one sort of gave me a little bit of a ring. You can get hit to the body, I've heard, and it kind of saps your strength. But when I start low kicking somebody and I see them start to buckle, I'm just like, you're done. You're done. It's such a good feeling, and it must be terrible for the people on the receiving end. We don't want to be there. I don't want any of you guys to experience the pain of almost getting low kick KO'd. We're going to solve that today with something that I've learned in the last, I don't even know, 20 plus years of sparring in kickboxing. But big announcement before we get to that, my Strike Ready offense course is going to be launching October 7th. And right now we have early bird pricing starting today. This is only going to last 1 week. I have a link down in the description. You can head over to Strike Ready Combat and you're going to be able to pick this up 40% off. We're going to be going through so many elements of what make my style offensively really work, plus crusher combos which you can employ, really fine-tuning that technique, figuring out strategies, how to land more in sparring. We have it all. This is going to be a great course, and I look forward to being on the live calls with all you who join. So get yourself registered right now. Doors close on this, just like when we did our defense course last time. Once the doors close, they don't open up while we're in the middle of the course, which is 5 weeks long. So the low kicks and getting just battered. I've found throughout the years there's a couple basic things when I start receiving more low kicks, errors that I've made in my offense. It's not just defense, it's also offense. And in general, I find when I start getting very heavy on my boxing and I start incorrectly shifting my weight here and reaching too far. This leg, how can I protect it? I can't. It is so heavy. And there's no way for me to shift the weight back in time to either evade or to go about checking. So we need to make sure as we get heavy on our offense, we're not shifting our weight. And that's something many beginners do. I correct people all the time. They'll be standing here kind of like 50-50, even more like 60-40. That's great. And then they go to punch, and instead of moving their feet, they reach. They shift their upper body. This is terrible. So I have found throughout the years, when I make this mistake, I need to remind myself, go back to having a little bit more weight on the back foot. This just makes good sense if you're dealing with anything where you're going to want to be protecting this leg. Now we have two main options, before we get into the strategy a little further, that I want you to be aware of to deal with the low kick. Number one, as many of you have been taught, we check. The alternative is hollow out and make the kick miss. Both of these are great. Both of them have their positives and negatives. The check, in my opinion, is fantastic because as the person kicks and they hit this solid target, they can actually hurt themselves. It's harder on the body to throw the kick and get it checked than to lift the shin and check the kick. So if they blast a kick in and you're boom, and they hit something hard, they might not throw that low kick anymore. That's fantastic. Our alternative is to take the lead leg and pull it backwards and sort of shift our hips back at the same time. If I just pull here, I don't get enough of that distance, so I scoot my hips back like so, but I let my lead foot move back probably 6 inches. And now from there, all the kicks are gonna whip by, or you might have some toe grazing your thigh, which doesn't hurt anyway. Employ these two things, these two strategies at any point, depending on your distance, depending on your comfort level. And I found for me, as long as I don't get too heavy in my leaning forward, that yes, these two will always work. But sometimes you need that extra reminder. You need to go, oh, okay, I have to actually make sure this lead leg is a little lighter, because it's very easy to get heavy. So how do we go about doing that? Well, number one, we're gonna make sure our stance doesn't widen too much. It's very easy when we start throwing heavy punches to get into a wider stance. But we want to make sure we're staying a little bit more narrow, because checking from here or hollowing out from there is no good. So always remembering, yes, I want to be a little bit more narrow in the length of my stance. Number two, making sure the front foot is not getting heavy and I'm not letting the heel completely rest down. If my foot is flat, that means I'm gonna have to shift my weight backwards. So we have two options. Option number one is to stay mobile and light on my feet. In this instance, I am bouncing through the balls of my feet. So when it comes time to check or hollow that leg out, super easy. Number two, if you don't wanna be bouncy, is to get that lead foot tapping a little bit more frequently than the back one. If I shift my weight kind of like this, I find that it's much easier for people to land. But as soon as I start doing a few more taps on the front foot than the back one, those little pop, pop, and then back to step, 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 tap, tap, switch, 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 tap, 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 that right there makes it very easy. And if I keep employing that in between exchanges, even if we're far away from each other, he's way over there, I don't just settle down. Because now I'm teaching myself, oh, okay, this is a position where I'm safe. No, the position where I'm safe for checking low kicks, where I'm gonna be able to continue to defend anything that comes at my thigh, is me even out of range, staying in motion, or from the outside, just doing this, nice and light. So you don't stop that. And I find when I don't stop that motion throughout the round, it constantly reminds me, okay, be ready to check. Stay on your defensive game. Deal with all those kicks coming to the thigh. And then, like I already mentioned, not overcommitting to my punches, which is improper. Making sure that when I step forward, I keep my stance fairly narrow in that length, and I throw my shots more like so, as opposed to like this. Then all of a sudden the counter low kicks are not so difficult to deal with. When I do this, I get counter low kicked like mad. Very, very easy to have that leg get chopped out from under you. If you can take all of this and put it into play, you're not going to take many low kicks in a round. And your backup strategy should always be, I got low kicked. Oh no, what do? Do I let the guy throw his low kick and come back and feel really good about himself? No, I don't do that. I go, okay, I happen to not be able to check or hollow out, so I'm gonna catch his low kick. Bring my hand all the way around, not straight down, all the way around. I catch the low kick, I pin it there for a moment, I hit him a couple times, maybe twice off the same hand, or I catch, I hit, I release down here, I hit him with the other one, and then I recreate that distance. And you make sure this guy understands that that low kick that you just threw, yeah, it scored, but I outscored you in the exchange. And that will take away their motivation to throw it in the same way. Whatever he just did, which successfully landed on you, he's probably not going to do it again. Because he knows in that instance, you were able to defeat him. So they're going to try something else. And whenever they try something else, it might make it easier for you to now check or hollow out. Because the ones that are landing, now they're scared to throw it. That is my overall strategy, to make sure that you are defending 90% plus of those low kicks thrown at you. Employ this strategy. Make sure as well you guys get registered with that early bird pricing for the Strike Ready Offense course, which I put together myself. We have 5 sections. It is going to be awesome, and I look forward to seeing you on the live calls. That's all, guys. I'll see you back here soon for another video.